Adam here with the Walser Automotive Group, and what I want to do today is take you on a test drive. So next to me here, I have a 2025 Nissan Armada Pro-4X. We'll look at the interior, exterior, some of the trim level specifics, then go for a spin around, see what it's like out on the road. All right, now we're behind the wheel of the 25 Nissan Armada Pro-4X, and there is so much equipment in here. I'm gonna try and get through it all. Hopefully we don't forget anything, but this is a pretty cool machine, whether you're using it for off-road or towing or anything the likes. There's a lot to like here in the Armada. Now let's start with the Pro-4X model. What makes this different? It's more the off-road focused version. You'll notice outside a 275/60/20, that's gonna be a Yokohama Geolander, so that's a 33-inch tire. That's gonna be built for off-road as well as some pretty good comfort and a quiet interior ride on-road. Now, as far as the styling is concerned, it is going to look different from the rest of the Armada lineup. The front grille and the bumper is going to be different. You've got those cool red tow hooks underneath and some metal skid plating that runs under the vehicle to help protect you if you are hitting the trail. There's a few different ways you can load them up, but mostly they are going to look pretty similar to this. A lot of the options are going to be inside with the exception of the two-tone paint that this one has. I think it does look pretty cool and might be worth the upgrade. Now, the Pro-4X does get 9.6 inches of ground clearance, but this also has an adaptive air suspension system, so it can go up a little bit more. I believe it pulls it up about 11.7 inches then if you're using it off-road. There's a ton of different selectable drive modes. We'll maybe touch on that in a little bit, but for now, let's put it in drive. We'll go for a spin around and touch on some of these cool features. Now, what powers these Nissan Armadas? No matter which one you're looking at, it's a GTR-derived twin-turbo V6. Yes, you heard me right. That is a Nissan GTR engine, kind of. But really, this one's going to give you about 425 horsepower. I think it's around 25 more than the outgoing V8, but there's almost over 100 foot-pounds of torque more than the outgoing V8 there. So you are getting more torque and power out of this engine. Fuel economy doesn't really change a lot because of that either, but this is a pretty large vehicle. Obviously, if you're looking at the Armada, looking at other third-row SUVs, there is a ton of different choices in the market, and it is a very competitive segment. Now back to the exterior on the Armada, like I said, the Pro-4X will look a little bit different than some of the other models, whether it's the blacked out wheels or the blacked out mirror caps, and like I said, the two-tone paint, which does look pretty cool as well. There's lots of pretty unique features to the Pro-4X. Now, one of those being the lava red interior accents. Those also go on to the exterior of the vehicle. You can see there's kind of a little Armada badge around the back of the vehicle as well. So there's lots of pretty cool styling things, and a lot of companies are now making these off-road vehicles because they figured a lot of people like them and they work really well. They give you the sure-footedness and the bite and the grip, whether you're tackling those Minnesota winters up here or if you're just doing a little bit of a light overlanding. On the interior of the vehicle, like I said, this is a third-row SUV, and this particular one is going to be 8 passengers. So you've got 3 in the back, you've got the bench seat in this one, and then the 2 up here. In that third row, if you're not hauling people around, it's actually a power folding third row that not only goes down, but you can also fold it back up with power. Then the second row, that would just be power folding down. But that third row, it's actually pretty comfortable. You know, when I crawl back there, you've got the cup holder, you've got USB-C charging back there, and there's even a little button, so if you slide the second row, you can fold those seats down so you don't have to walk all the way back around to the tailgate area of the vehicle, so that's pretty sweet. Now, this is a motion-activated liftgate out back as well, so you swing your foot under kind of the left side of the vehicle when the key's on you. That will open up, so if you got camping gear, got your arms full, got the kids, all their stuff, I love how easy that does make it to use the kind of storage area in the back. And like I said, when you click that power button, it is a huge area back there. You have so much, it almost feels like one of the Nissan cargo vans, just how much room you have when you fold down that second and third row. Now, what else is really cool in the second row? This particular one does get a heated second row, which is going to be really nice. And then there's also a climate zone back there. So if you got the kiddos going on a road trip, everybody's going to be comfortable when you're on the move. This vehicle gets 6 USB-C ports, 2 12-volt outlets, a cargo area 120-volt outlet, and then a wireless charging pad. So if the kids need their devices charged up, if you're hitting the road trip, going up to the cabin, there is absolutely going to be enough charging in this vehicle. Now, what about from the driver's seat? Yes, they're going to be comfortable back there, but it's so quiet. This, again, Nissan makes the GTR. This might be my favorite vehicle in the Nissan lineup. It's so quiet and comfortable in here. I drove one a couple months ago when it was kind of snowy out still and not quite great, and I was amazed that even with all the slush and all the kind of crud on the road, it was still such a nice place to be. I mean, even the blinker is kind of quiet and nice. It's almost laughable because when I got in this vehicle, I was expecting, okay, a little bit maybe bigger version of the Pathfinder. The old Armada was maybe a little bit noisier inside. That is just not the case in this particular one. The 9-speed automatic transmission with this twin turbo V6, I mean, if you put your foot down, it picks up and moves. It feels like you're in a Rogue, not a huge Armada. But then when you're just cruising down the highway, I mean, we're going about 50 miles an hour right now. It's just dead silent in here. I love how luxurious this ride really is. And then with the larger wheels and tires, just kind of eats up all the stuff on the road. Whether it's kind of those potholes or some of those road kind of cracks, you don't really feel any of that coming back into the cabin. Now, like I said, this one does get the air suspension. So it's an auto leveling suspension, but then if you tune in the drive modes, you can kind of go between like an eco, a sport, there's a towing mode as well. That will kind of help work with that air suspension. Now, if you're towing the boat to the lake, you got an enclosed trailer, 8,500 pounds would be the max towing capacity. We've got the brake controller in here. There's even like a brake trailer check light. So if it's just you by yourself, maybe the lights aren't working, you can run that system. It will memorize the trailer. There's a ton of really cool stuff to use this as a very capable tow vehicle. Okay, let's talk about the seats. Nissan has my favorite seats. I say it in almost every video I do because it's very true. And I got in this one and I don't want to get out. These are so comfortable. They're heated, they're ventilated. We have a leather wrapped heated steering wheel in here as well. I mean, it is so good. It's so comfortable. I mean, you could fill this thing up. It says I have a 440 mile range. Good. I'll drive the whole way in these seats because they are that nice to be in. These are power, these are lumbar, the driver and passenger seat are in that case as well. And then we've also got memory seating in here, and we've got a little bit of storage underneath because we have a shift-by-wire system. So what's cool, it frees up kind of a huge area down below. So what that means, you can throw your purse, throw some stuff down there. There's a huge storage compartment here as well. So you can kind of peel that back, throw your phone in there on the wireless charger, and the cup holders are nicely placed in here as well. Now, speaking of my phone, wireless Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto. Now, this infotainment screen goes with the seats in my mind. It is one of my favorite out right now. It's responsive, it's quick, there's no lag between any of the screens, and you can even use the right side of the steering wheel to kind of control which side of the screen you want to use if you're not wanting to use the touchscreen. Text messaging, Google Maps, Spotify with that kind of the Apple CarPlay system, but it's also got Amazon Alexa built in and the Google Assistant, which is really cool. Once you start using that, you can say Walser Nissan Burnsville. It'll pull it up over here, not only on the infotainment screen, but also on the digital gauge cluster. So it's going to give me the turn-by-turn directions over here, so I'm not messing with my phone ever when I'm in the car, and that is going to make it really safe. Obviously, in a third-row SUV, probably going to have the family with you, and you don't want to kind of give up any safety from when you're behind the wheel. This also has the ProPilot system. So there's a little blue button on the left side of the steering wheel. You kick that on, you've got forward collision, blind spot monitoring, lane departure warning. You can even go through and kind of check all those settings right in the infotainment screen, or the digital gauge cluster rather. So you can kind of make sure if you don't want some of those settings, maybe you don't maybe like that lane centering system, you can easily shut those off and you're back on the road and cruising without having to go through 100 menus. But the safety in here is pretty great, and it's not super intrusive. Sometimes you set those adaptive cruise controls. This one has the 3, 2, 1 kind of distance. Sometimes it gets a little finicky, kind of pinball almost back and forth, but I don't get any of that in the Armada. It's just so comfortable and so nice. I love spending time behind the wheel of this truck. So you can control some of the kind of heated and ventilated seats and the heated steering wheel with a little tap of a button up here, or there is still physical buttons, which I do like. So you're not messing with going through all the menus. You can simply just click if you want the heated or ventilated seats on. You've also got a remote start on the key fob, so you can fire it up. Those will kick on for you, so that is pretty cool. Then we've got our auto 4-wheel drive, since this does have the intelligent 4-wheel drive system, but you can put it in 4 high, 4 low, or there's electronically locking rear differential. So if you are going to be someone who is hitting the trail, that is definitely a nice thing to have, especially paired with some of the cool selectable drive modes. The camera. With the infotainment system here, you've got the little camera button, so you can press that when you're stopped or going pretty slowly. The kids left some stuff in the driveway, trying to see out of a busy intersection, or trying to look around on a trail. That camera is so cool. It's kind of the full view now. You've also got parking sensors around the vehicle. And one other thing, this also gets a dash cam built in. So not only can you see what's going on in front or behind you, but you can also see inside the vehicle. So that's pretty cool that you can record, take a picture in there. I can even see myself filming some of this stuff. kind of crazy, but if you got the kids in here, if you got something going on outside the vehicle, the dash cam can record, which is pretty nice. Then this also has the, what I believe pronounced Klipsch audio system, and it is so good. I was jamming out earlier, whether you got the podcast or your music going, what a difference that makes. It is such an incredible sound system. There's even like a cool demo you can go through and watch and listen to it all. It feels like you're in a movie theater sitting in here. The seats are comfortable. If I had some popcorn and a big Coca-Cola Classic in here, I don't know if I would ever get out. There's just a lot to like about this new Armada. I mean, the quiet, the comfortable, the ride, the power that it gives you, and all of the technology that works very nicely. They spend a lot of time thinking out, laying out everything. Where are you going to want to be? Where do you want your hands to be? There's even paddle shifters on here for that 9-speed automatic. So if you're towing or feeling a little sporty, I can't say enough good things about this truck. Now, we do have to touch on the price of this vehicle because MSRP on this one's going to be around $81,800. So yes, it is expensive. I get that. But in this big third row segment right now, whether you're looking at maybe the Tahoe or even some of the larger Sequoias, they're all going to be pretty similarly priced. This one even has a few discounts going on right now at the time of filming. So you're kind of that high $70,000 price range, which gets you, I mean, a very competitive off-road vehicle. Maybe it's not fully as capable as the TRD Pro, but I think inside it's quieter and a little bit more comfortable on the road. There's just so much good stuff in here. Whether, like I said, you're loading up the family, going for a long weekend away, there's just, I mean, it really does seem like it can fill the role for pretty much anything. The daily driver, the running around town, the trail running, I mean, it's pretty cool. So I think if you're in the market, like I said, maybe you're shopping Honda, Toyota, looking at a Suburban or a Tahoe, I think you gotta add the Armada to the list. Get behind the wheel, open the back, crawl in that third row, check out all the capability that this offers, and then take it for a spin and see what you think. Now that was just a quick look and drive at the 25 Pro-4X Armada. Now if you have any other questions or you'd like to schedule a test drive, you can visit us online at walser.com or stop by anytime. We'd be more than happy to help. Thanks again for watching.